Hey folks, I'm back at it again with another episode of, you guessed it, Chasing Storms. And as chipper as I sound, I'm afraid we're about to continue with the same solemn mood that's been set in the last few scenes. But don't worry, there may be something slightly less dismal to come. But let's just get on with this week's episode. So, last week we discussed a little bit about Mama Seraphine, but we're just getting started with the juicy details when I had to end it. So, I guess you could say that's why it's a good thing that these episodes in this series still has a little ways to go. But what's happening here in this first panel? Okay. As if Prada hasn't already done enough damage to his reputation with the Mama, he takes it one step further to strike a nerve with Seraphine. Here we see the light bulb kind of flicker in his brain a little bit, and he accuses Seraphine of running out of her own pool of prospects within her own jurisdiction. At this point, Seraphine gives him like a chance to dig himself a little deeper into the hole that he had already started scooping out a little bit. You might even say she kind of gave him a shovel. But once he communicates a threat to her that he may not be interested in keeping part of his agreement or plan, she sets up with a finger straight to her chin and communicates her own threat. At this point, she lets him know that even without his participation, she doesn't need him. And if she doesn't need him, she won't help him anymore. What she means by help him anymore, we don't really know at this point, but we will probably find that out a little bit later. But anyway, as we go on, we kind of see the guard. He pulls up this 300-pound man effortlessly, and he insinuates that it's time to go. So just before we see Prada actually exit the scene, we see Seraphine warn Prada of a storm that's about to come. And it's supposed to be a storm that will hang over Seattle for quite a long while, I guess. Now, this is where I want to pause and speak about Seraphine's last statement on the page. You know, she's warning him of a storm. This appears to be some type of foreshadowing, almost as if the Mama herself knows something that's about to take place very soon. Now, we know by reading chapter 1 that Gale has started something and set something into motion by not heeding his father's warnings. Could this be like maybe where the first connection to Gale's story comes into play with this story? It certainly seems like Mama Seraphine knows a little bit more about something than she's letting on, and up to this point, she seemed to be a fairly rough personality. But so is Prada. So who's the one that's actually working in favor of what is inherently good? If she's warning of a storm that's coming and using it, it's kind of a threat. But she seems not to have a worry in her mind. Could it be that she has had time to prepare for this situation or for this storm herself? Or could we go a little further and kind of ask, is she playing a part in conjuring up such a storm? Why isn't she afraid of her own safety? I'm wondering if this could be her final attempt at achieving what's on her agenda, even if it seems like somewhat suicidal. Now, you may not be following me right now. I'm just going on in my thoughts. But let me pull you back in. Let's connect the dots a little bit. Chapter 1. Gale's father has died mysteriously, and in a panic he messages his son a warning. Gale ignores that warning, and now I remind you that he found a woman whom, if you look back, reminds you of one of the Void people, and she was burning documents in a fire, and left Gale with, if you can remember, the little souvenir that looks like a pendant or a necklace. And now we come back to present day, and we've discussed that Mama Seraphine has a plan. So we can say that if Gale's situation is included in that plan, she probably knows that there will be a time when someone seeks her out, and at this point it might not be, you know, they might not be coming there for some kind of understanding. They might be there for some kind of retribution, I guess. Um, and yet she seems kind of calm. She seems steady as a stream in sunny July. So, what do you think Seraphine's role is in all of this? What are her intentions? Is this a master plan to get her way, or is it just a death wish? Find out more in the next episode of Chasing Storms. And remember, if you like these episodes, as always, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you.